Kosher, drunk with his friend Marquis Farang, explained that he must keep a low profile for Navir's sake. Kosher spills more liquor and slams the glass down, claiming it was undeserved punishment. Kosher plans to strike the emperor's concubine, Rashta, to find out her weakness. He is unable to enter the imperial palace. That's why he persuades Marquis Farang. Drawn into the situation, Kosher gives Marquis Farang a pouch to buy people to solve the issue. Kosher seeks an effective abortion-inducing drug, causing minimal harm to the mother, while Marquis Farang questions his seriousness about his potential acquisition. Heinlei's letter wishes the empress were the queen of the Western Kingdom. The letter also mentions Coronation Day and a delegation from the Eastern Empire. The empress wants to attend, but doesn't want to promise her appearance due to unforeseen circumstances. She writes a non-committal answer and delivers it to the bird. After a few moments, a commotion in the parlor room led to the discovery of abortive drugs in Rashta's food. The emperor recognized the poisoning, and the palace doctor confirmed that Rashta had already consumed a small amount several times before. The baby is safe, but the poisoner would likely benefit someone around the empress. The emperor didn't call for her until they had meal together. The emperor was blaming the empress. However, Marquis Karl argues that Marquis Farang, Kosher's best friend, is not connected to the empress and she is intelligent not to do something like this. Sovieshu questions the intelligence of the empress, who could have predicted Kosher's reaction. He explained that remains tolerant by refraining from dragging Kosher away and torturing him. Marquis Karl suggests the emperor to let the empress come inside or they go to the Western Palace, but Sovieshu disagrees. They exit the parlor room, but the empress remains there. Sovieshu, surprised, thinking she left. The empress is surprised by Sovieshu's pride and mocking voice. Sovieshu reveals that he is covering her brother's crime. He asks her if she didn't know that it is her brother's doing, but she is not confident to say that her brother didn't commit the act. Sovieshu, angry, approaches the Navir, who believes her brother is innocent. He urges the empress to investigate and apologize if he is right. The next morning, Empress Navir contacts Marquis Farang to discuss the discovery of drugs in Rashta's food, as her brother is banned from entering the palace. She questioned how Sovieshu know the drugs on Rashta's food. Marquis Farang, aware of Sovieshu's suspicion of Kosher, assures the empress that they will never find conclusive evidence. The empress is angry and hurt by the fact that her people committed such a terrible act, but also hurt her pride that Sovieshu was right. The Western delegation expresses the letter of coronation for Heinlei and invited the empress to be the Eastern representative, but Sovieshu disagrees and told them he will send Grand Duke Lilting. Sovieshu asks if the empress if she is still investigating the drug. Despite the late hour, she decides to visit Sovieshu. She enter the room. Sovieshu asks if the investigation is complete. He explains that he wanted an apology in anger and was in an unpleasant mood at that time. He warns the empress that next time he can't protect the empress' dignity if same act will happen. Sovieshu held a small party to cheer up Rashta. A noble introduced her to Ravetti, Viscount Rotesh's daughter. Rashta was taken aback by the joke and the mischievous glances. However, Alan appeared and took his sister by the arm, leaving the party. Rashta left the room, but found Alan nearby, and he hesitated before approaching her. He told her about Anne, their son, but she told him to follow his father's advice to pretend not to know her. Rashta went to Duke Elgi's room to discuss about her problem about her child. She has made a personal commitment to protect herself and her baby, but discovered she was eating poison. Duke Elgi suggests 2 ways to avoid the situation: asking the emperor for help or using offensive tactics. Duke Elgi suggests that the only way to stop the empress from attacking is for Rashta to become the empress herself. Duke Elgi explains that the empress seat can change, but Rashta struggles to calm down. He suggests changing her origins, suggesting to get her she and noble parents that will show that she was lost in an accident. Duke Elgi suggests arranging a noble family from his country to protect Rashta from the empress. Rashta insists on paying back when she becomes the empress, but Duke Elgi warns her not to accept a paternity test. Duke Elgi approached the empress and argues that harassing the weak is an ugly thing, implying Rashta. The empress questions if the duke will throw away his weapon and hide his fists if he meets a weak enemy. As they approach the Western Palace, the empress is surprised by Duke Elgi's smile and asks him to hit him once to ease his guilt. Viscount Roteshu, a wealthy man, is greeted by his daughter Reveti, who is excited to meet Her Majesty the Empress. However, her father, Roteshu, is surprised by Reveti's unexpected news. Reveti, eager to meet the Empress, is surprised by Roteshu's reaction. He informs Reveti that they will discuss the matter later. Viscount Roteshu visits Rashta at the palace. Despite her usual disdain, he informs her that the Empress is digging into Rashta. Despite her anger, she can only apply pressure on Viscount Roteshu to keep them quiet. Viscount Roteshu explains that spring is debutante season and he expects her to pay for a dress for her daughter. He suggests that she should have her own dress tailored for her daughter, but Rashta is upset and wants to kill him. Sir Artina informed the Empress that Viscount Roteshu went to Rashta. Laura suggests they're trying to shut Reveti's mouth. The Empress explained that she doesn't want information from Reveti. She wants to show a warning to Rashta using Reveti. Reveti's father warns her not to tell too much to the Empress tomorrow. Reveti, unsure of her father's intentions, agrees to avoid discussing Rashta and Anne, her brother's lover. He fears that a powerless family could be destroyed under the Emperor's wrath. Viscount Roteshu's daughter arrives early and visits the party. Countess Jubal and other ladies in waiting express concern about the situation, wondering if Reveti might not help Her Majesty. The Empress reassures the ladies that the party went better than expected, and that Reveti provided enough information. The Empress is surprised to learn that some of the teachers assigned to Rashta by Sovieshu were once her own. They question if Rashta is trying to copy her education or if she has more than just one or two teachers. The deputy confirms that Rashta has lessons in court etiquette, dance, life philosophy, painting, and piano, all from the basic teachers of young, social aristocrats. Sir Artina shares the investigation about Viscount Roteshu's mansion. Sir Artina mentions Viscount Roteshu's baby, which has never been seen. The baby's mother is unknown, and whether it belonged to her unmarried children, nephew, or distant relatives. The conversation raises questions about whether the baby is Viscount Roteshu's secret. 4 days after the debutante ball, Viscount Roteshu learned about the events that happened to his daughter. Reveti was shocked to learn that her dress was like the dress Rashta wore in the past. The next day, he confronted Rashta. Rashta sat on her chair, causing Viscount Roteshu to scream and accuse her of playing a prank. Viscount Roteshu, surprised by Rashta's calm demeanor, Rashta rebukes Roteshu, accusing him of being blinded to his child's faults and not wanting to see his own. Rashta insists on not threatening her and that she is not forced to do anything she's afraid of. She warns him that if she falls, she won't be alone. At the Emperor's room, Marquis Karl discuss unusual people they observed while investigating Viscount Roteshu. Marquis Karl reveals that it was Lord Kosher, who is also involved in the investigation, and also mentions the Empress. Sovieshu is concerned about the situation, as Kosher is known to spread flyers about Rashta, and he is determined to reveal any secrets.